My husband can't stop providing financially for his family. Divorce-worthy. My husband, 25M, and I, 24F, have been married about a year and a half. While we were in the early stage of dating, he moved into his parents' house to support them financially: rent, internet, phone bill, most everything. They grew up very poor and moved around a lot with 8 kids in the family, and his dad always struggled to find and keep jobs. When my husband first moved back in, his plan was for his dad to find a job within a couple months and start making enough money to get off their feet. They had 2 other kids still living in the house at the time and a third who came back to stay with them after college. After about 6 months of his dad still not finding a single job, I asked how it was going. He said his dad was applying for jobs here and there, but that his pride was standing in the way of applying for just any job. My husband even got his dad a job at his place of work, and he quit after a few weeks because it was too stressful. Prior to and during our engagement, we had multiple talks about his family's money situation, and we came to an understanding and agreement that he would not be so quick to jump in and help. And that if anything serious came up, we'd talk about it. He also recognized how he had been taken advantage of by his parents for so long. Fast forward into marriage, his dad had a serious medical event and went into emergency surgery. It was rough, but he is doing good now. We had another talk because I knew they would be facing some medical bills. I told him I still had concerns he'd put his family above our family, me and him. He thanked me for sharing those feelings and reassured me that I would not be left out of the loop on anything. I felt really good about it. Well, as predicted, one of the first things his mom does during and after surgery is reach out to her children, who have families of their own, mind you, and ask if they can help with bills for the next few months. I had a gut feeling one night and went through my husband's phone. I know this is a controversial topic of its own. I found out that the older siblings had a group chat where they discussed all pitching in about $800 per month for who knows how long. My husband had also sent over a large sum of money from a separate bank account to his parents. Had I not gone through the phone, I never would have known. I told him to get rid of his separate bank account and that he is not to be providing financially for his family anymore, period. He agreed. We get into another argument a month down the line because he had still not gotten rid of that separate bank account. He was going to do it when it was convenient for him. Now just this past week, I found he spent about $200 on baseball game tickets for his mom, dad, and little brother. It was his dad's birthday, so I get wanting to treat dad. I was not informed that, yet again, he was paying everyone's way so that everyone could have a good time. He later said that his mom told him she would pay for his food at the game and apologized for not giving me all the details. He also got defensive, saying that I never try to truly understand why he does things and that I don't understand him. So I asked him why he doesn't try to explain why he does things up front to me and why he is so secretive. Sorry this is so long. The root of my annoyance comes from growing up in a family where my parents worked hard to get where they are now and teaching me the same. My husband is a very hard worker and extremely good at what he does, but his parents don't get it and I feel protective. Am I being too micromanaging? Am I overreacting? Can anyone else relate on either end of the spectrum? Too long did not read. My husband is very giving. He was living with his parents and younger brothers while we were dating and supporting them financially. They were taking advantage for too long. We have had multiple talks and now over a year into marriage, I am still finding he is providing them in some financial aspect, always secretively. Many relationships have separate finances exactly for this reason. Since you are so far apart on spending and he has somehow hidden a back account he can pull $800 a month from, you guys need to sit down and separate finances. Split the bills proportionally and each have your own personal savings accounts, and don't fall for the trap of you paying extra for vacations, dinners, etc. because he is giving so much to his family. It sounds like your fundamental issue is that you both disagree about how money should be spent and what transparency should be involved. It also sounds like, from the quotes you've provided, he's aware of this issue. The question is, how big of an issue is it to you? It sounds like a lot. I would make it clear to him why you feel the way you do. Do you feel betrayed and lied to? That's important to communicate. The blood of the covenant, your marriage, is thicker than the water of the womb. Your family is what should matter. How are you preparing for a future when you're giving $800 a month away? Divorce. Because he absolutely will not ever change. And if he gets sick, it'll be you supporting your family and his. I'm not sure if you're on the up and up with the economy, but it's fucking a lot of people over. Multi-generational households are super common now, and your Phil having difficulty dealing with his pride is also not uncommon. I started caring for my dad when I was 22. I started helping my in-laws out on an irregular manner by 25. This is the world, my dear. This is financial infidelity. Your husband is making large financial decisions without your knowledge. This is financial abuse. He's also straight up lying to you. This is not being very giving. He is abusing you, and he is showing you that you cannot trust him. Your father-in-law is your family too. He is not your competition if your needs are being met. First things first. Do you work? Do you own your own money? I think it is incredibly immature that you are competing with your husband's family for his money, especially when his parents have had a hard time with medical emergency. Personally, I think your attitude says a lot more about you than about him. You have absolutely no right to ask him to get rid of his own bank account. It is his money, not yours. I think you need to gain some independence and support your husband instead of trying to control him. If you never would have known, then what does it matter? It isn't affecting you, and it seems you have plenty to spare.